Hard times can happen to any of us at any time. And when that does happen, it's good to know there are people and agencies there to help. I'm David Bernhardt, Commissioner of MaineDOT and Chair of the Maine State Employees Combined Charitable Appeal. When a loved one is unexpectedly diagnosed with a life-threatening illness, an entire family can be thrown into a tailspin. If you haven't experienced this firsthand, you surely have witnessed friends and neighbors who have. The results can be devastating. But where there are services and programs providing a safety net, there can also be hope. It's important to realize that those providing that safety net rely on you. Your donation to MSECCA ensures those agencies are there when your neighbors need them and when you need them. The MSECCA campaign reaches out to about 12,000 potential donors each year. In 2015, 1,105 state employees made individual contributions. That's less than 10%. I know we can do better. Take a moment to watch the following true story which took place in Central Maine. It could have happened anywhere to any one of us. And think of how little it takes to make a difference, especially when you use payroll deduction. $2 a pay period means one less cup of coffee. $20 a paycheck means one less meal out. You decide what's right for you, and you can designate which organizations means the most to you. Thank you, and please make your tax-deductible donation today.
The last thing we expected was a terminal diagnosis, especially that young. We actually met on a backcountry trail crew in 2004. We were working on Saddleback Mountain, building stone staircases on the AT. And actually that's where we ended up getting married a couple of years down the road. Steve, he had a great sense of humor, and he loved to teach people about trails. He did trail work for a living. He just always rolled with things and didn't stress about anything he didn't have control over, which was very, very impressive given everything that we went through. He was diagnosed in October of 2009. We went for a hike on the MSECCA Stream Trail. He was speaking to me normally, like his cadence was normal, but the words were complete gibberish. We eventually ended up in the emergency room, and he was diagnosed with a tumor the size of a lemon in his brain, and he was 27. We decided that despite everything we were looking at, that we wanted to be parents. And so our daughter was born about 1.5 years after his initial diagnosis. And best thing we ever did with our lives. One of the biggest worries for me was just that, the whole semblance of normalcy. Kids are remarkably resilient, as I have found, but at the same time, you want them to have as normal of a life as possible. So the Kennebec Valley YMCA was a huge supporter. When Zoe started at the Learning Center, she was 10 weeks old. Our medical bills were huge, and so we didn't think we were going to be able to afford to send her here. And so from the very beginning, they've supported us with child care scholarships. The Y is like a family. They really gave us so much peace of mind knowing that Zoe had a safe place to be every day where she was completely loved, and it didn't matter what was going on with Steve's treatments. We knew she was going to be taken care of. Steve started hospice about 2 weeks before Zoe's 3rd birthday. And I knew that with everything going on, I wasn't going to be able to do any sort of big party or anything like that. One of Zoe's former teachers from the Kennebec Valley Y rallied Y staff, friends, community members, the Children's Discovery Museum, everybody, and threw a massive 3rd birthday party for Zoe. All we had to do was show up, and she had the best birthday party a little girl could have asked for. Steve passed away a little less than 2 months after that, so it meant so much to us that she was able to have that while sort of the rest of her world was falling apart around her, to still have that. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for taking the worst days of my life and making them a little bit easier. United Way funded programs made a huge impact on our family. It's easy for people to forget why these programs exist. When people fall in hard times, it's really important that those organizations be there to support them. Our family has experienced something incredibly devastating, but I can't imagine how we would have weathered the last 5 years without the support that we received. Every little bit for a family going through something similar really makes a huge difference in the daily lives. I can attest to that.